What's up, Pella, Virginia? It's your favorite duo back for some more first take, and we're breaking down fantasy sales team, the best sales contest of the year, and it is the midway point in the regular season, Carl. So we had to get back together and talk some sales team.
Yes, very excited. Very excited. Halfway through, very happy with how my team's performing, but I'm excited to break it all down.
Yes, I think there's going to be some suspicion with the other teams in the league about some cahoots with the commissioner and the owner of the Sultans, but I swear there is no funny business going on with the scoring. It is all legit.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And they could count it up if they want. It'd take probably hours. You can tell them that.
Yep. All right. Well, we're going to get down to business. What we're going to do, we have three things. We're going to talk about the season to date, what we've seen happen throughout the season so far in these first 3 weeks. We're going to take a look at the league leaders, the individuals that are getting it done in all the different positional categories. And then we're going to look ahead to see we're going to predict what the rest of the season will look like and then on into the playoffs. So Michelle, let's take a look at the standings for our fans to be able to see an awesome visual graphic. She said my layout sucked, but whatever. You can see what's going on there. So yes, the Sultans are on top.
Yes.
Carl, you said you're kind of trying to run the table.
Yes. I informed my team that we are going to run the table. That's the goal right now. Undefeated, the Miami Dolphins of fantasy sales team, undefeated. The perfect season is what we're shooting for right now.
All right. Well, I guess there's three other teams out there that got something to say about that. But I have to say, your team is getting it done, and they're winning. They're winning by big margins, but it is that extra effort. I keep writing about it. The Google reviews and the project submissions. You guys have outscored the rest of the league. I think it's 75 to 37, almost double the rest of the league. And
yep,
done it by yourselves. So hats off to those that are contributing on your team.
Yes, the whole team is fired up. They're all committed. They're all in on the extra effort, and it's showing. They're doing a great job.
And so some of the other action reports, I had the Storm. They came out. They had the lead, high score out of week one. Richard and his squad, and they have cooled off ever since, dropping the last two. And they are going the wrong direction right now. They get to face off with the Purple Cobras again. So the Cobras, they've been gradually improving. They actually outscored the Eye of the Storm last week, although they didn't play each other. Right. Tim is back. Drew's starting to catch fire. So we'll see if Garrett and his guys can get their first win. Or
the Purple Cobras are dangerous. They have a very, very good squad. Their record probably doesn't show how good they really are. And definitely can do some damage, especially in the playoffs. So they have a good team. We're not sleeping on the Purple Cobras.
And it's interesting. The Window Warriors are less than a point from being undefeated because your squad just barely edged them out in week one. And if that had been a 1 point different, Window Warriors would be 3-0, and the Sultans would be.
Yes, and the extra effort helped us in week one. We got off to a slow start. Looking forward to face them again to prove it was no fluke and that it was not just a skin of our teeth win. We want to prove it that the better team. But yes, looking forward to that matchup for sure. They've got the second best record.
Well, let's take a look at these individuals who are getting it done. Michelle, can we see that leaders tab? Right on. All right. Well, there's the league leaders, and over on the left side is all the other stuff that I use to put that chart together. We're going to focus on the pretty chart with the colors on it. So the retail veteran race, this is a good one. You got Henry, who is out front. He's been a contender in the past. I think he did win top score one year. Joshua, he's always there. Last year's number 2. Chase, a surprise. He's also on the Sultan squad. You have 3 of the top 6. You should be proud about that.
Very.
Chris's lead is slip. Leslie's right there. She had a huge week of week 2, and then Brett, he moved his way into the top 6, and then Dave is just right outside at 67.9. So it is a tight race with 5 weeks left to go in this retail category.
Yeah, it's really anybody's game. In Leslie, she can prove that she can turn it on. She had a cold week last week, but going to jump right back into it. I mean, she's got the volume to do it. Really impressed with Chase beating out Chris with 0.6. I know he is jacked up right now, but Henry, leading the league there in points. His volume's been great. He's been closing like a machine. He is definitely doing really good. And Mr. Consistency, Joshua, always up there at the top. But yeah, it's going to be a close race. I'm excited to see how it all finishes out.
Yeah, so Chase, he was just looked at this up. Number 7 retailer drafted, and then Brett number 8 retailer drafted. So those guys are overperforming their draft position.
Yeah, steals in the late rounds.
Some owners got to be feeling good about that.
Yeah.
And then we're missing another high draft pick. He struggled the first 2 weeks, but Shane, he's finally catching fire. He might find his way back in there eventually.
I'm not going to call it a bust. No way. No way. He had a slow start, but yeah, I know he's determined. He's a gamer. He was on my team last year, big part of the team. And so I'm sure he's going to get back into it here shortly.
And then on the trade side, I did put in the write-up that Jeff is running away with the lead right now, which it looks like he is. He's got over 20-point margin of ahead of Kevin, Justin, Hughes, and Drew. But then with Kevin and Drew there, you got to feel like these guys got some massive volume coming at some point.
Yes. Well, listen, Jeff does it all. That's I was so happy to get him on my team. The project submissions, all the extra effort. This guy just wants to win. And that's why he's on top right now. But yeah, he's getting it done with every trick he knows how to do. But the one that sticks out is Justin Hughes. You talked about like a late draft pick. He's right there in the mix, number 3 out of the trade veterans. Though,
right.
Be interested to see
the last trade guy drafted.
Last trade guy, and look at it, he's number 3. So way to go, Justin Hughes. But you're right, Kevin and Drew, they've been the heavy hitters all year. So, we'll see how it all finishes out towards the end of the year if they've got a lot to put in. But yeah, it's still a close race.
Yep. And then we're going to see Eye of the Storm, Tyler and Dylan. These guys, they got to get their act together. Richard got to get down to the beach and crack the whip on those guys because they're under delivering for Eye of the Storm right now. We'll see if they turn things around. And I just say Jeff Perkins, he will argue with me over a tenth. I don't even keep track of hundredths of the points, but I think he argues about everything. And it was
he wants to win
for it.
He
for those points.
He wants to win. He's a gamer. I love it.
And then over on the support side, we've got Mustafa and Teresa, who've never won, never taken the top spot. And they both hold it. Now, Michelle, she had a great week last week, and she caught up to Mustafa. So they are tied right now. And then Teresa's got the edge on Tim. Tim also closed the gap last week, but Teresa's holding on to the edge. Still a lot of time left, but we could see an MVP upset brewing.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Tim has had that spot forever, the number 1 spot, and it looked like Teresa started out strong and might be able to take him this year. But as you said, he's coming back, and there's still a lot of time on the clock. So we'll see about that one. Mustafa, I mean, great job. I think he was 3rd last year as a showroomer, but now he's tied for 1st with Michelle, which she was the number 1. So that's a huge jump. So great job, Mustafa. It'll be interesting to see. That's a close race.
It is. And then the beach PMs. So the only reason they have 4, they're the only score. So all the project managers have definitely underperformed this year. The only reason they have those 4 points is because Robert was mentioned along with the sales rep in a Google review. So I gave them both 4. So good thing they remembered Robert's name. Otherwise, it would have been a big goose egg for all the project managers. But that's the league leaders, and a lot of exciting things to come. So let's break down, take a couple last minutes, and go back and look at the schedule, Michelle, and we'll talk about the rest of the season. So you said you wanted to run the table, and this will be in the write-up that will be that you will see below in the email. But if the Sultans can win this week and win handily, the Sultans could lock up the first seed because they will have a 2-game lead because they would have beaten the Window Warriors, and they'll have a 2-game lead and the big points margin. So could be going into the right off into the sunset. You can sit your team for the next 2 weeks.
Well, no, no. The thing is, you do stuff like that, then you can't turn it back on. We want to just keep the pedal to the metal, and we want to dominate every week. That's the goal. Everybody, and I'll tell you what, the team is charged up for that $25 gift card every week, so that's another motivation. So that's what we're shooting for.
So, and then the other thing I figured out here was that the Purple Cobras, when Garrett drafted his team, he had drafted that team for the championship round. He's got Drew, who always delivers in the finals, and is the main reason why his team has won the championship each year. Got Dave Duncan, who always delivers at the end of the month. He's the follow-up king. Tim Duncan, who is also very strong at follow-ups. So he's got 3 very strong follow-ups, sellers for the end of the team built for the championships. But right now they're sitting in the 4 seed. And if they don't get to 3, they're going to be playing, most likely, the Sultans of Sale in the first round of the playoffs. And they are not built for the first round of the playoffs. So I suggest to Garrett and the Cobras, if you want any chance to make this thing interesting in the playoffs, you have got to get to the 3 seed at least. Get to the 3 seed, you play the 2, you got a fighting chance, and then you go to the championship. And I want to see the Purple Cobras in the championship because I want to see Drew and Dave and Tim and George and all those guys that close well at the end of the season in there. They got to do the work to get there.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I could tell you, my team is taking it 1 week at a time. So it's the Window Warriors this week. Got to dismantle them first, and then we'll move on to the next one. And it will all shake out at the end. But I have to agree, the Purple Cobras, they've got a very good team, and I'll see how it turns out. And everybody's got a really good team. I looked at after the draft. There wasn't a lot of there was no weak team, so each week anybody can turn it up. So it's going to be very difficult from here on out.
Yes, and if one last thing to point out, you'll notice the Window Warriors are sitting in number 2 position right now, which is most likely where they will end up because Ryan is their owner, and they love that number 2 spot.
Wow.
Like, we'll just take the shirt, we're fine. I don't need a trophy.
Has he finished number 2 every year?
I think so.
Oh boy!
I know the last 2 years he has, and I believe he might be a 3-time runner-up.
Well, we'll see. It's very exciting. I know my team is charged up. I hope everybody else is too.
Well, we're glad everybody's out there is playing. Hopefully it's been fun. Certainly been fun to manage it, and look forward to the rest of the regular season and the playoffs coming up soon. All right, I guess it's time to sign off. Thanks for coming, Carl.
We'll see you later.
See ya.